Well, the market certainly liking clarity with regards to who the next president will be. Let's take a look at how the NSE 20 performed for the day, up at 3.5%, 5,030 points. So a nice bounce, of course, on the first trading day of this week. Looking at how the currency is faring today, 84.85 against the US dollar. That shilling there is 0.7% stronger, and in fact sitting at a 6-month high. So let's delve into all of this and get an update on what we're expecting from quarter two now that the election result is out of the way, and of course still uncertainty around the ICC. But that being said, the market certainly in a positive tone on the first trading day of this quarter. Let's take a look at what our Nairobi market commentator has to say. Crispus Otieno, fixed income dealer at AIB Capital, is standing by. Crispus, thanks for joining us. So of course quarter one come and gone, and we know that the election was something that hung over the markets, provided that, air of uncertainty, but certainly the markets liking the news today, or liking the clarity on the fact that Uhuru Kenyatta's presidential election victory has been certified by the Supreme Court. So where to from here? What are your thoughts on what the market's likely to do in quarter two?
Of course, once the news, of course, the election had held over us. It had held a dark pall over us. But now that it's out, it's done with. I mean, the market can finally resort to fundamentals. We are seeing the equities market closing the 5,000 mark. We are seeing the fixed income market also. We expect maybe a bit more of activity in the coming weeks.
Mm-hmm. A lot of activity in the banking sector as per usual, but bank stocks have been strong so far this year. We know the insurance sector also received a lot of attention. But what stood out for you when it comes to specific outperformance from quarter one, or specific sectors which really shone during the year?
Actually, for me, the financial sector were the best sectors, because if I look at the other sectors, I've not seen either there is a stagnation or a decrease in profit. We've had a lot of counters releasing profit warnings in the last few. Only the financial sector, I think. I'll be looking at Equity Bank, CBK, KCB, which has moved from 15 in the past 1 year to now we are looking at levels of 30, of 38, 40. Mm-hmm.
Let's just jump into some company news out on the day. Total Kenya posting a full year loss of 0.32 shillings, so 32 cents there, and a bigger loss this period in time. And it's really all around that legal wranglings with the Glencore over in London. We don't know what the settlement of that court deal was, but we know that it really hit the bottom line. If you had to strip that out, what do you make of the company's operational performance during the period?
I think they've really held steady, the oil sector as a whole. It's been a tricky operating environment, what with price controls, pseudo price controls. I think they've managed to ride it out. And if you remove that segment of the court case and so on and so forth, I'd rather say they're satisfactory according to me.
I mean, would you invest in the company? I mean, I was just, looking back at the operational performance, they still were making, if you look at their gross profit margins, in fact, it's improving during the period, up 5.5% for the full year 2012. So overall, I mean, their turnover grew. Did you think that you could see better times ahead for them in 2013?
Yes, I will definitely invest in the company. I've changed my mind from 1 year back.
Mm-hmm. Moving on to the agricultural space, Kuzi were also reporting its results, and I mentioned earlier we knew these bad numbers were coming. The full year profits down 26%. But that being said, they've also been hit by the economic downturn in Europe. Do you see things improving for them?
Agriculture has always been a tough thing to focus, because remember we have the number one factor, the weather. So really, unless you're able to forecast the weather, you cannot focus the performance of the company. But if we remove the weather holding constant, I think there are better times for it. Because you look at the exchange rate is okay. We look at growth rate, we expect GDP to grow. Inflation rate has come down. So really, I think there are better times for Kakuzi.
Yeah, let's move more into your territory, Crispus, in the fixed income space. What are your expectations for quarter two?
Tomorrow we're having the Market Leaders Forum. We are waiting to see what will happen. But then again, quarter two and quarter three have always been the time to make your money. Quarter one, guys are settling. Quarter four, guys have taken a backseat. So really expect yields to start falling in quarter two and quarter three. You look at inflation. Inflation has come down. although there's the pile of the government not having, then government borrowing is set to increase. So all we are doing right now is to wait for the budget.
And I suppose now that the election issue is out the way, you would expect those who were sidelined as a result of the uncertainty around the election to possibly put their money back into the market. I know, investment houses here in South Africa cautious around investing in Kenyan debt. Do you see lots of money moving into the market once again now?
Most definitely, yes. Economically, from an economist perspective, the government has really been coming in to mop money. This is going to cause yields to increase in the short term and definitely opportunities for investing in bonds.
On the currency front, I mentioned earlier that the shilling sitting at a 6-month high right now. What type of drivers do you see when it comes to shilling performance? Do you see it managing to go any much, to go stronger from these levels, sitting at around just under 85 now to the dollar?
The strengthening of the Kenya shilling can partly be attributed to the political, to the settlement of the election petition. So in the short term, I'm seeing maybe for the next 1-2 weeks, I'm seeing it gaining strength. But then again, after that, fundamentals will have to take over.